Yo, yo. How's it going, everybody? Welcome to Pillow Talk with Paul Goneau. My guest today is artist and chef. I feel like more artist than chef.
Yeah.
Haille Dockery.
Hi.
Yeah, so the term artist it's a pretty broad term, right? And I consider lots of acting is art. I would even say wrestling, and I consider stand-up art. But when I talk about those forms, there's always a more specific term, like comedian or actor.
Yeah.
What is the proper term? What am I going for?
Okay, so even within painters and that sort of thing, there's different kind of subgenres. I think most people would just say visual artist.
Visual artist.
Some people will say textile artist. They'll say sculpture and installation artist. They might say conceptual artist or contemporary artist. It really just depends on the person. For me, I'd probably just say visual artist. I think that's the best term to describe.
It covers
it's pretty
a
broad.
little bit of ground.
Yeah.
Yeah, you do a lot of stuff. I just framed. I know you've been kind of absent from social media as of late, but I framed your skull piece that I got from you. It's in my bedroom. I'll show it to you after. I got a bunch of stuff in there, but it's fucking sweet, man.
I'm glad it got to you safe. I was so worried about that.
I worry about all that stuff.
Yeah.
I just got a bunch of stickers, podcast stickers, and for the comedy show, the monthly show. And I was worried about that. It was just I ordered a couple things. I ordered a sweater and just some pins and stuff.
Yeah.
And because I go through Redbubble. You know Redbubble?
Yeah.
Yeah, and I just thought it was. When I found out there was actual sites there that you could just make your designs, and it just fast tracked things so much.
Yeah.
And so it's been pretty decent, and I've had. I just kind of buy one of something. I got a bunch of different things just to kind of see
what it looks like.
Yeah, and I've had some mistakes, and they've fixed it, and it's been pretty good so far.
No, it's definitely good to do something like that, because if you go to a screen printer or a manufacturer, then they'll be you need 100 to buy 150 pieces. It's way more expensive and way more complicated for no reason. You'd need an artist or someone to help you with the process, because it's that much more, many steps involved. It's nicer to support local companies and stuff, but sometimes it's not worth it. If you
Redbubble's Canadian.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh shit! I thought
and
it was American.
It's weird because I'm pretty sure the prices are in American.
They're in American dollars. Yeah.
Yeah, it's weird.
Yeah.
But then when I got my first thing, it was, I can't even remember where it's from. I'm pretty sure it's even in Ontario.
Oh.
Yeah. So you don't use Redbubble? Do you just make your own stuff? Because you sent me some stickers.
Yeah, I upload to Redbubble, so people can buy stuff through Redbubble if they want to. But the stickers I sent you, I made them by. I drew them and then scanned them, and then you can buy printer paper for pretty sticker paper for pretty cheap.
Yeah.
And just hand cut them. I'm not so good. You can get there are these machines. I don't know if you've heard of them. They're Cricuts or Silhouettes. And they're die cutting machines.
Oh, okay.
My mom bought one for when she was doing her cake business. She would make little custom card things to put on people's cakes. But for the life of me, I cannot figure out it at all. And now they've gone in added this subscription that you have to pay for on top of the Cricut machine in order to use the program. So you can only put so many designs in the free version. I'm okay, I'm not bothering with this, because obviously as an artist you're going to be making a lot more than a few designs every month, right? So
you went to art school.
Yeah.
And you went to Italy, right?
Yeah, I did a program. Yeah.
I'm Italian. The motherland. No, I was born here. I'm second generation Canadian. But my nana was born in Italy. I've never been. How was that?
Interesting. I've never been surrounded by so many snobby rich people before.
Really, eh?
Because you know what it is? It's Florence, right? It's that's a #1 tourist spot. That is where The biggest gallery is. That's where the most cathedrals are. Like that's where Michelangelo made his work, and that's where like Da Vinci and all those guys were in Florence. So it's a very like upscale type city. It's a lot of people there are very well off.
Mm.
There's like a Rolex store on every strip. There's like Gucci stores everywhere. Like kids are going to school fully decked out and full designer stuff. Like it's not like what you'd see here.
Yeah.
It's a huge shock to see that much wealth all in one area, and you're like this broke exchange student. Like,
Yeah. So how does that like whole thing work? Like, is it all the money you're spending is your money? Is that how it is? They don't like. Does it cost money to be in that specific program, or is that just part of like what you were taking?
It does. So basically, what ends up happening is your tuition is the same, and like whatever you pay for in your tuition covers like your school trips, the studio space that we got, like any of that kind of stuff. But other than that, you had to pay for everything else. So yeah, it's a bit of a different program. It's not like other schools that do exchange programs in Florence. Is like they have schools in Florence that you go to on campus.
Mm.
OCAD it's completely different. It's like almost like a residency, like an independent residency where you get a house or an apartment or whatever, and there's a studio space, and most of the time you're just making work, and you have the one history class, maybe one seminar class, and that's it. It's very different than like what other kids were experiencing, having to do all these classes and stuff. So yeah, you had to pay for it, but it was like a much more open and freeing experience. Like it felt like if I had paid to do a residency in some other spot, like that's kind of what it
Worth
felt
it.
like. Yeah, 100%. Like you could find an affordable apartment outside of the downtown area, and you just walk in or whatever. Like I lived with a local, so that was like a lot cheaper for me. You find your ways to make it work.
Did you
right?
learn Italian?
No, he would make fun of me when I would try to speak Italian with him, so I just didn't bother. It would have been nice if he would like have helped me, but that's another thing is they're kind of stuck up, so that wasn't really happening. But also like I tried my best to learn Italian, I really did. It's just like they're also being polite too in the sense where they see you're struggling, so then they'll speak English back. And then you're trying to be polite, so you speak Italian back, and that's the back and forth the whole time. Broken Italian, broken English.
Yeah, I know a few words, but I wouldn't be able to string a sentence together.
Mm-hmm. No, I knew how to say like basic things and like times and stuff, and like how are you and whatever. But don't ask me now; I don't remember.
Mm-hmm. Don't worry, I won't do that to you. When did you like? Was there something in you all along that was artistic, or is it something that you discovered later on?
It's interesting because like at the time when I had chose to go to OCAD, I didn't maybe I wasn't really aware of my artistic self, but then when I look back, I was ever since I was a kid, I was always very crafty and liked to make things and liked to draw, and like I'd look at some of my old stuff and I would find old drawings and things that I would make, and the old little charms I would make in high school and stuff. So it was definitely always been there. And I definitely get that from like my mom, and like the whole she used to make little jewelries and sell it on the side type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
The whole cake decorating thing, I always used to help her with that. So yeah, I think it's just always been there for me personally.
Yeah, I for me, I felt like it was gonna be music pretty much like my whole life up until I found comedy.
Yeah.
You know, and then it was like the very first time I stepped off the stage, and like I had went to Second City, so I had like a bit of practice, not really like any real stage time, but like I had learned a little bit of like, you know, just how to structure a joke and just like, you know, a little bit of stage presence and stuff. So
yeah.
I felt like I wasn't flying blind, and then when I got off, I was just like, oh, this is. And I've probably said it maybe like a dozen times on here, but it was like the highest I've ever been not high. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's going forward. It's obviously COVID slowed a lot of things down.
Yeah.
I just had, I guess, technically my 3-year anniversary from my first show, like a week or so ago, 10 days ago.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. What would you say is the thing that you, and I know you, like, obviously neither of us are, this is like basically our side thing, but I feel like it's your passion. I feel like your passion isn't cooking at, restaurants and stuff. So,
Yeah.
what would you say is like the best part of this and the worst part?
Well, the best part is just actually doing it and pursuing it and being in that. There's something about being in that creative space where you're totally gone, and you put your head down and then you lift your head up and it's 6 hours has passed or something like that. Like nothing beats that feeling of totally getting lost in something, and nothing else really brings that to me other than my art and focusing on that. But the bad part about it is like when you can't do that and you have this huge mental block, or for whatever reason life is not allowing you to do that, it's really depressing, really, to not be able to have that feeling that you just love so much and you want to have all the time. Whether it's your head blocking it, you have to work to obviously to live life or whatever, but that's definitely the most challenging part, is not being in that space.
Yeah, I've been trying to think of my answer since I asked you, and I was totally listening to you, and I definitely agree, especially with your first point, and definitely parts of your second. I think it's a little different. Like, I think it's a little different in what we're doing, but like both are a long game and they're artistic endeavors.
Yeah.
And for me, it's a lot about like the thing I don't like. Obviously, for me, it's performing. That's the thing I like most.
Mm-hmm.
Being able to. But then there's times where it's like I don't drive.
Mm-hmm.
I don't drink.
Mm-hmm.
Smoke a lot of weed.
Mm-hmm.
But like you're usually performing at bars or clubs that serve alcohol for sure. And like people hang out. They live in Toronto and they just fucking get all fucked up and they form these cliques and stuff like that. And I'm just like, well, I gotta go. I got an hour and a half bus ride home. If I go with people, like sometimes I get a ride home depending on who came to see me or whatever. But so there was a lot of just navigating that, and I felt like I said, I went to Second City, and I felt like a lot of the people that, well, I don't want to say a lot, because actually I did 2 levels. And the first level, maybe about 4 people went on to the second level from like the first class, and that was like a group of people that I guess are part of my comedy origin story, if you will. And after Second City was done, it kind of felt like they were moving ahead faster than me. Because of the things that I just, said, like just living in Toronto and being partiers and stuff like that.
I get that.
So, that's probably the most challenging thing. And I don't know, it's a lot of ego in comedy as well. You know what I mean? And you have to navigate that. Like, you have to. You're not just performing a one-man show, there's going to be other comedians there, And so I don't know if we said this while we were recording or we said it outside, but like being a good person goes a long way. And so I've just kind of, been who I am and just been appreciating that things are moving forward, even if they haven't been moving forward as fast as I want. And it's totally different when it's something you love, right?
Yeah, it hurts a lot more. Yeah. Definitely. Because I get that too when I like, and I think for my generation, the whole social media thing, and that's why I've kind of backed off on it, it just causes so much anxiety. But like, I look at someone who would also had gone to Italy with me. We're the same age, graduated at the same time, and she has like 80,000 followers on Instagram, and she's like doing really well. And you kind of look at it and you're like, well, what the fuck? Well, why did she blow up like that? But I didn't. But sometimes it's just how it works. Like sometimes one person is going to jump ahead of you. That doesn't mean they're better than you. It just happened for them that way. And that's hard to swallow, but like...
Yeah, and just because you, like... It's just because you start out ahead doesn't mean you're going to finish ahead, right? Yeah. It's more how you finish the race than how you start the race.
Yeah.
So, but, yeah, I hear you. Mm-hmm. We're, talking kind of about not being able to get in that headspace. What helps you get in that headspace? Like, what are your sources of inspiration? Or do you have a certain thing that gets you,
in that headspace, though? I don't know if it's like an inspiration that gets me in that headspace, because I'm the type of person where there's like 100 million things happening in my head at the same time. I think it's more about the environment that I'm in and my mental state of how like relaxed I am. Like I need to have a calm environment. I really prefer to be home alone, and then that kind of helps me get into it. Yeah, I think for me it's more of like an environmental thing, like setting up my space in a certain way, having things a certain way, feeling comfortable, feeling safe to go in and do something. Because like I get inspired by bees outside, like...
yeah, no, I hear you. My pets, yeah, inspire me.
The small things for me like have a huge impact. So for me, it's like the environment I'm in and how that's impacting me plays like a huge role. And I think that's probably one of my bigger challenges right now, is like not having that space to feel fully creative in. So that's why I'm like, I want to move out so badly.
Do you ever come up with ideas in the shower? I find that's where I come up with a lot of shit, and like, I don't know. I don't want to blame it on the weed, but I've been smoking weed for a while, so it could. I don't know. Anyways, like I could think of a good joke in the shower, and if I don't go to my phone like right away,
it's gone.
By the time I get out of the shower, I'll forget it.
Yeah.
And for some reason, a lot of fucking funny shit comes to me. It's like, I think it's when I shower. Because I get home after like a long day of like traveling and seeing people on the bus and hearing the way people talk to each other and work and and then I go home and I'm like, I guess reflecting on the whole day, and I don't know. Yeah. It's kind of a pain in the ass.
I know, it's like the worst time possible is when you get your best ideas. For me, it's like when I'm at work and I have really great ideas, but I don't have time to write them down. I'm at work, like... So that happens.
Do you see that Bob Ross documentary? You like Bob Ross?
Which Bob Ross documentary?
It just came out on Netflix,
okay.
And it was about how the people he was working with, like, basically stole his name. They just jacked his name and took like the empire from like, him and his kids, and still own it to this day. Like everything with his name attached to it. I don't know. It's pretty.
I believe
it's pretty
it.
Crazy. But like a good majority of it's just kind of about his life and the beginning of the show and the end of his life, and I don't know. I thought it was pretty good.
I'll have to watch it.
And I'm gonna fucking my girlfriend's like, oh no, you can't tell people what you're being for Halloween. Someone might steal it. But fuck you, I don't care. I'm putting this out there. I'm gonna fucking be here for Halloween.
Exactly, there you go.
Shit. I'm trying to get, and this is the one I was saying earlier, October 30th. I'm trying to, and okay, as I'm saying this, it's not 100%. It's about 80% right now, but it's looking like it's going to be October 30th.
Okay.
And I really hope it is, because I'm trying to get every comedian to dress up as something.
Oh, that'd be cool.
So it's going to be a fun night. You got to come out, man.
Well, I'll have to book it off, because I never get any days off, so.
Well, that's because you're good.
Yes.
That's what happens. That's the downfall of being good at what you do.
Yeah, it's
especially at fucking there.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna go there. What if you didn't see the documentary?
No.
What are you watching right now?
Oh my gosh, I can't remember the name of it. There's this new horror thing. It's like a little mini series on Netflix, and it's based in the 90s, and it's this girl who's something with the cherry. If I remember it, I will send it to you. But she's like an aspiring director, and this kind of spoils it a little bit. But it's the first episode where she's going and she kind of meets like this big Hollywood exec to make a full version of her movie, because she kind of put out the short version of it so someone would pick it up.
Yeah.
And he says, "Oh yeah, you'll be great. I'm gonna go to this other big guy, and we're gonna get your movie funded. It'll be fine. Like, here's your contract. This contract says that you're the director." She got a friend to look over the contract instead of getting a lawyer to look over it. She finds out later that she's not the director of the film, and he's taking the whole idea because he's kind of washed up, so he wants something to bring his name back up again. And then he like chokes her and stuff when she goes to confront him, and then this like weird creepy witch lady tells her that if she wants to, she can like put a hex on him, and that's like what the series is about. It's like her getting vengeance on this guy who like took the one thing that she wanted in this world, was like her movie to be seen. So it's pretty good.
You finished it?
Not yet. I haven't finished it yet.
Yeah, you gotta send me that.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty wild.
Yeah.
I'm not watching. My girlfriend doesn't. She's not super big on horror.
Oh, okay.
You know, and she's not really big on blood. But I try to, like certain ones. I've shows and movies. Like, I enjoy zombie stuff. Not really Walking Dead, but I'm actually watching a bunch of comedy shows. But AP Bio is like probably the newest one that I'm watching. Have you heard of that?
No.
So it's like this. I think he is from Yale. He's like a Yale professor. And just a really smart teacher who is also an author. And he basically kind of stumbles into like this biology teacher position. But like he's kind of a douchebag.
Okay.
And so like he like right away, like first episode, he's like, "You are not gonna learn about biology in this class, okay? Like that's not what I'm here for." And like every episode is just him like getting them to do something for him, basically.
Yeah.
And I've been enjoying it. My girlfriend's kind of losing interest. But fucking, that's what I'm watching. I'm trying to think what else I'm watching, because I'm definitely watching other things, but I'm constantly watching Bones. I feel like I never stop watching Bones. It's like just when I finish the whole show, and I mean, it's long.
Yeah.
It's like 12 seasons or 11 seasons, something like that.
Yeah.
It's like as soon as I finish it, it's like we just somehow it's like that background show where the show like,
yeah,
I don't know. I think my girlfriend wants to act like Sopranos is her favorite show, but I'm pretty sure it's Bones. And I got like for the last 2 years I've gotten like cameos for her birthday.
Oh.
And so I got. Do you watch Bones? Have you ever seen it? Oh, okay. Well, I got one of the guys from Bones, and in the show, him and this like they're. Fuck, I should know. I really should know, because I don't know their job titles, but they work in labs. They're forensic scientists. You know?
Oh wait, is this the one where she is like super smart, super analytical?
Yeah.
Okay. Yes, I have seen the show. Okay. Yeah.
Anyways, and so. They like him and another character go back and forth of who's the king of the lab and all this shit, and she's a scientist. You know, she works in a lab, so I got him to, wish her happy birthday and then crown her the queen of the lab.
Oh, nice.
And yeah.
That's cute.
And last year I got her a guy who was I think he was in Sopranos briefly, maybe for like one season, and he was in Silicon Valley. You ever seen that? Oh shit, so funny. And I got him to do it the first year. It was a hit, so I did it again this year. Fucking nailed it. Just got tickets to Grandson. Do you know who Grandson is?
No.
Haille, you're killing me. He's like I generally consider myself, at least, if not old school when it comes to music, like new artists that are more old school, that have that sound in them.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not really a fan. And like rock or, I mean, metal's pretty consistent. Metal doesn't really,
Yeah, it doesn't really.
and like certain
It's very
things.
reliable.
Yeah. But he's probably like my favorite new artist.
Okay.
And I guess he was born in the States, but he's lived in Toronto most of his life. And like, I mean, he released 3 EPs that every song was crazy, and he just released his full-length album.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, now that I'm thinking about this, like 2 years ago, I was going to see Sum 41
Mm-hmm.
with Jeremiah and Marco.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you know Marco, but I know you know Jeremiah.
I know Jerry, yeah.
And Jerry. I think it's so cute when everyone calls him that. Not just
It's just a throwback
everybody. No, but like all his like friends outside of like work,
Yeah.
I feel like call him Jerry, and
Yeah.
every time I hear it, I'm like, oh yeah, like I don't know why I call him Jeremiah. I feel like I might be the only person.
Well, I mean, like, when you met him, he kind of just let everybody say that, but from how I've known him, everyone always called him Jerry.
Yeah.
So.
But we went to see Sum 41, and Grandson opened for him.
Oh, okay.
I think, like, Jerry, I don't know why I did this, but, like, I think he said that you might come, and then you didn't come. I don't know what happened. Were you intending on going, or was he just lying?
No, I was intending on going, and then I think something came up, and I couldn't go, if I remember correctly.
I think that was the last concert I went to. Pretty sure.
Because that would have been 2019.
Yeah, when? Yeah, I guess it was. Yeah, I don't think I went to anything after that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Maybe some comedy shows.
Yeah, but there wasn't real well. I mean, that was before COVID hit, but that's also kind of like, you know, it's the end of the summer. There's not as many outdoor things happening. It's going to be all indoor stuff and not as many concerts happening.
Horrible venue. I had been there once before.
What is it again? The
Echo Beach.
Echo Beach. Okay.
Have you been there?
Not to Echo Beach.
That's where it was.
Okay.
And, I mean, beach is in the name.
Yeah.
And so, like, the whole front of the stage, like, the mosh pit is a fucking, it's basically, you could play volleyball on that bitch.
Oh, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so, like, I ruined my shoes completely. And, like, they were relatively new and, like, just, you know, people are aggressive sometimes. And there was just a lot of falling and a lot of just sand in your eyes and shit. It's like, what? Who thought of this? This is like a practical joke.
Yeah, that's true. Like, of all places to have a venue, especially for that kind of music, like.
Good concert, though.
Yeah, that's good.
Good concert. I feel like this one's at like a drive-in or something. I've never heard of it before. And I can't really remember the name. I don't want to look on my phone. But like it's some drive-in in Toronto. And I originally thought that you had to like have a car and you would just go and sit in your car and fucking watch, and I was like, oh, that's lame, but there's no cars. So fucking got tickets today, man.
Oh, that'd be nice. I want to go to a concert again. I haven't been to one in such a long time.
What was the last one you were at?
I want to say it was 21 Pilots. Back in probably like, I guess it was my last year of high school-ish. And that was also a terrible venue. Great concert. Another shitty spot in Toronto somewhere. Like those guys are great. They're great performers and they put on a show, so
their style is it's unique and it's eclectic. That's what I like about them.
Yeah.
You know, they bring something new to the table.
Yes, they definitely do, and they're not afraid to be totally experimental and just kind of try something completely different all the time, and I like that.
Can backfire, I think, sometimes.
Yes.
I think, I mean, when Linkin Park came out with One More Light, that was an album that initially I was like, I am not buying this. I'm going to be real. And legitimately took Chester's death for me to be like, yo, we're going to get into this. This is kind of like a good segue, actually. But, like, this is your favorite fucking singer's last piece of art, man.
Yeah.
Like, I had to get it.
Yeah.
You know? And it was weird, and I went, that, I guess, like, week that I got it, I went to BC, and it was just legitimately every single morning that I was there, I would just kind of, and like Vancouver Island, BC, so it's like, I don't know, it's really beautiful out there, and I would go, wake up, go smoke a few bowls, and like listen to the whole album. It's not a long album,
no,
but listen to it from like beginning to end, and like every listen I kind of loved it more and more, and then I feel like just by the end of the trip I was like, this is a fucking great album. Like Linkin Park did pop music better than most pop musicians.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
And like even though it doesn't have the sound, there's so many similarities to other like the topics like that they're writing about, you know, the way they structure their songs. There's lots of things that I could still be like, oh, that's Linkin Park.
Yeah.
That it's not completely different. And fucking yeah, I love that.
Yeah, lots of artists. No one ever like completely changes everything about the way they make art. There'll always be little trails of something, and whatever they make, it's always that way. You can always make connections if you put them side by side. Like, I feel like the same thing happened with Bring Me the Horizon. They, oh my god, have they ever just totally flipped what they used to make?
Well, they were a little, I want to say heavier when they started out, and now they're a little more electronic.
Yeah.
What would you call them now?
I honestly don't know.
Alternative? Is that what? Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of people would classify it as. But like when they first came out, it was like full on screamo, like thrashing, and then they kind of slowly mellowed out of that. And they've kind of they've gone full electronic, more of like a poppy sound, but still with those heavy roots. Like you can still kind of hear it a little bit, but they have totally just changed. And
you like it though? How do you feel about it?
I'm okay with it. I didn't like the one album. What was it? Spirit or something like that? I think that's what it was called. The one before the one they just came out with. I wasn't a fan of that. But I still think like I would never, being an artist myself, I would never get mad at another artist for like wanting to try something different or being experimental, because we're all gonna do it, and I think you should be allowed to create whatever the fuck you want. Like no one should tell you you can't make a different genre of music if you want to.
Yeah,
you know?
that's like restricting a painter to like one color.
Yeah.
We're like, you can just use shades of like blue. We're gonna give you blue and white. You figure the rest out.
Yeah.
You know, it's like, I get why it would get boring. You know, and I dabble in music. I've been slowly like a snail working on an EP. Just as things fucking start open, it's like, I was literally just saying yesterday, like, how do like, I'm not that busy. I don't have a lot of things. Like, I work a 9 to 5. I do a little, like, a bit of stand-up. I have the podcast. Like, how do people that are really busy fucking deal with this shit?
Right.
I don't know, man.
Yeah.
Fucking like The Rock, or like someone like Kevin Hart. Like, it just seems like they sleep for like 3 hours a day.
Yeah, especially The Rock. Like, he is always doing something. It's insane. Like, the reason he's the #1 most paid actor is not necessarily because the movies he makes gross so much, but it's because he's in so many fucking movies all the time.
Yeah. If you didn't like the one in March, you're gonna like the one in July.
Right?
You know?
He's just constantly filming, or like even during COVID, he made like a TV series or something, or he's always working out, or he's got his little side businesses.
It's like he just, it's all, there's so many different things that he's doing.
Yeah.
That's the part that seems crazy to me. Mm. It's like, just as things are opening up and I'm like, oh, this is getting crazy. It's really not crazy.
Yeah.
Like, I do have spare time, and I'm not like, I have problems sleeping. I always have, but like, you know, I mean, how much sleep do you get? Maybe it's a weird question. I don't know. Like a night average.
Let's say 6 hours, because it's definitely not 8.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe 5 if I'm. Let's be honest, maybe 5. Like.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm a tough sleeper too.
I feel like I'm in 4 or 5 range on average. Yeah. But fucking. Before we stray too far from music, I got some snacks here too. We can. If you're from Japan. I get like this Tokyo Treat monkey box.
The best kind of snacks are always the fun Japanese snacks.
I mean, I don't know if they're always the best.
Oh, you're bringing up the inner weeb in me. This is my shit.
Oh, it is, eh? Okay. Yeah, I feel like maybe 70-30 good. Okay. Sometimes they're not so good. Like I'm thinking of the last episode I did. And there was these like bugle looking things. Mm-hmm. Like they looked exactly like bugles. And then when you fucking ate it, it tasted like cotton candy, like ice cream. It was like this sweet fucking, it was so... And I feel like when I recorded, I was like, oh, this isn't bad. And then like, I tried one like just maybe like 2-3 hours ago. Mm-hmm. And I was like, this is fucking gross. I need me some nacho cheese. But yeah, you can pick one. I'll pick one. If you don't know what it is, this shit explains it all. I can't even really see. I'll pick this. So are you like you're all into like anime?
Yeah.
Do you like Japan culture? Do you like J-rock?
Yeah.
Do you know who Duran Gray is?
Probably. I'm one of those people where like if you play with me, I'll be like, I know who that is, but I'm really bad with names.
Oh man, I seen them. They're like crazy heavy metal J-rock band, and like I wouldn't even say like I'm a huge fan. I just know who they are and know quite a few of their songs because I was dating someone whose younger brother was like, he actually went to like Sunday school to learn Japanese. Like he was real serious. Yeah. You know. Corn potted? What is that?
Potage.
Oh, look at you! Oh, shit! I butcher these names like every episode. I'm gonna get you to just do a little voiceover for every episode from now on.
I could do.
Oh, these look good.
Those are the tropical flavor gummies, I think.
Yeah. Alright.
And then these are just like corn chips, I think.
They do a lot of stuff with corn.
Yeah, they're
fans of corn.
They love corn soup. Like, you can... I was watching a video, and like, you know how they have a shit ton of vending machines, right? Thank you. They have like this... all kinds of crazy vending machines, and you can get like corn soup in a can in a vending machine.
Yeah, that's out there. But I feel like you can also get like used panties in vending machines there, no?
You can get some
I've heard things.
Shit.
I obviously have never been there. You been there?
Mm-mm. I wanted to, because my friend is she's a quarter Japanese, and she really wants to go, and we were gonna plan a trip, and then like COVID happened. So
these are fucking great. I don't even know. Oh, pineapple, mango, and orange. There's 3 flavors? I thought there was 2.
These taste like just like corn puffs with lots of salt on them.
I don't know about that.
No?
It's really light though.
It is, yeah.
Like the flavor, it's like...
It's basically just like a corn puff with salt on it. The best way I could describe it.
It really tastes like corn though. Mm-hmm. Like a lot. like cream corn. I guess that's the idea.
Yeah, it's supposed to be like the soup. So.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
There we go.
Have you ever had like I see they have like mochi on here.
Yeah, I butchered that name so many times.
Do you like mochi or is it the texture?
No, no. I enjoy it. I think it tastes good.
Yeah.
I just don't know how to say it.
Oh, there you go.
I'd be like mochi. All right, and I'll say it wrong next time. Watch. It's horrible.
That's one of my favorites is mochi, and then like if it has like the matcha paste in it, that's always good. Because I know like sometimes with that stuff it's like it's a textural thing. Like not everybody likes the really chewiness of it, and then like red bean has like a completely different texture that you're not expecting, and I know a lot of people are like, what the fuck am I eating right now? I've made mochi before.
Yeah, eh? What? How do you do that? Is it very complicated? Is it really complicated?
It's super easy, but it's like difficult to work with because it's so sticky. You just have to have the right flour, and it's just the water and the flour, and you mix it up, and you heat it up, and you have to make sure you have gloves and cornstarch.
One more?
So it doesn't stick, and you're good to go. I flavored it with matcha. It was so good. I did strawberries dipped in chocolate, and then I wrapped it in the matcha mochi. That was fucking good.
Yeah, I could see. I'd like to try that next time. Just let me know. I'll come get it.
Okay.
You don't have to say anything. All right, so let's start our top 5. There's some cool ones. This is like, I don't know. I kind of was getting, bored of the questions I was at. There's a lot of cool stuff here that I haven't talked about.
Okay.
I want to start with rock vocalists because we were just maybe like 10 minutes ago. We trailed off a little bit, but... And I will start because I already mentioned my favorite. My dog is named after him. Like all my pets have first and last names, you know.
Nice.
And the white cat's Jeffrey Chaucer. Artie's Artemis Jackson. I say the white cat because I don't know, he's just new. I haven't really come up with a lot of nicknames for him yet, but they'll come. We had him for like less than a week, 5 days now.
Okay.
My second favorite is Jared. I'm trying to think of how to say his last name. Gomez or Gomes. It's Gomes.
Probably Gomes.
And he's from. It's from my favorite band. I know that that's like a stage name, and his real name's Paulo. But he's from Head PE. And I know his name's Paulo because I met him maybe like 4 or 5 years ago. The very first time I saw them live in Toronto at Opera House. And this band, actually. Now I just realized I was wearing the hat. And like we talked, and he was like going through some shit with some lady who runs an opera house because of the percentage they were trying to take of their merch sales.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, it's not even worth to set up fucking hats in here. This bitch is just trying to like rob me and all this stuff. So he just like had a few shirts in there. And I was like talking, I was like, dude, I'll get a hat. He's like, yeah. And so we went outside, and it wasn't this hat. It was another hat, and I was like the only one to buy a hat from him that night. And we like legitimately before like, they're not huge. I wouldn't say they're huge. They were on a major label for their first 3 albums, and they probably have like a dozen albums now.
Yeah.
And we just chatted for the opening bands, man. Like he just had a kid and stuff. It was like this really weird, surreal moment. And then I saw them for the second time like the next year. And I was like walking up to the venue, and I saw that they have like an RV and like I don't know, some sort of like trailer thing with all their merch attached to the back, right? Same one that they had the year before. And as I'm walking up, he's like going up and about to go in the venue, and he like looks and he points, and he knew my name because his name is Paulo. And like that was the time that I learned. He's like, oh, I just remembered because that's my name. You know? It's like, oh shit, that's pretty cool. But yes, if you don't know them, check them out. Very diverse, like hip hop, reggae, metal, punk. They're a rock band, but like they go off.
They're experimental.
Yeah. Um, I guess third would be Zach De La Rocca. Zach from fucking Rage Against the Machine.
Okay.
I just, I mean, he's a legend, and if they ever toured, like, there's a couple things that I would pay basically all the money I have.
Yeah.
I would like sell my soul to see like Dave Chappelle live or Rage Against the Machine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 4 is Lajon Witherspoon from Seven Dust. I don't know if you know Seven Dust.
Probably not. Or I probably do. I just don't know the name.
You might know who they are. And then Corey Taylor from Slipknot is my number 5.
Okay.
They're all pretty heavy. I was trying to think of some punk singers because I do listen to a lot of punk, or like even some ska dudes like Tim Armstrong was up there, but they just, I don't know, for some reason I lean more towards, well, actually, now that I'm thinking about it, I think, would you consider Slipknot new metal? Because like Linkin Park has been branded, Head PE was, Rage is,
I don't
think, like 3 of my 5.
I don't
you
think
so?
I would consider Slipknot new metal.
Yeah, I don't really consider them new metal.
I don't know if other people do, but
I think because they have a DJ, some people are like, that's what they say, but I don't feel that.
But that's not really their sound. You have to base it off the sound, not like the people they have in the band. Like, there's however many of them in the band. Like,
yeah, it's true. It's a band of layers.
Yeah. So.
What about you?
Top 5 vocalists.
Yeah, rock vocalists. I was actually thinking like, should we put like other, like, I don't know if you like people like Justin Timberlake or whatever, but I want it to be more specific.
Yeah. So, I honestly don't know. I'm so bad at this kind of stuff, like picking top 5. I'm like, they're all great. Like, why do I have to pick 5? But
yeah, you feel bad because you're not mentioning people or something.
Well, I just know me, and I know how I am with like music and art, and for me, it's all, if I like an artist, it's all on the same like level playing field. I will never have one art, like I've never been a person to be like, this is my favorite song, this is my favorite band. It constantly changes for me, and I can go back to things and still love it like I did when I first heard it, type of thing. So yeah, I'm not really too sure how to answer this question. Maybe like, I know I really like Danny Filth from Cradle of Filth. And like, I think if I were to pick my 5, they'd probably be like artists who do unclean vocals, because I really respect the amount of work that goes into doing unclean vocals and how much strain it puts on your throat and your vocal cords and your body. And like, obviously Cradle of Filth, right?
Oh yeah.
Like, just, you can hear that and you're like, that's fucking insane. Like, how do you do that with your voice? And I love it so much. I know most people are probably not expecting little old me to like love heavy metal and black metal and all that.
I love that shit. I love that. Like when you sent me all that stuff, I was like, oh man, like this is not, like, I saw the anime like thing coming, but well, I guess I knew you before. I knew you like some rock music because I always blasted some shit.
Yeah, and I'd always come in and be like, hey, I like that. But yeah, I think for me, metal is definitely, like, if I have to say vocal ability, I would say
you don't have to
metal.
pick 5, it's all good.
Then I like the lead singer of Machine Head. He's really good. The lead singer of Suicide Silence. Not the lead singer they had now, the one who passed away, Mitch. I can't remember how to say his last name for the life of me, but him I really enjoyed. And then, yeah, I don't really know who else. Oh, I guess like old Ozzy Osbourne. I always love to hear the sound of his voice.
Yeah, I do like his voice too.
That always gets me. And then,
I think he's going on tour.
Yes, he did. He announced that he was going on tour, and like
Ozzy's just gonna How old is he now? He's up there.
I mean, he's a lot. He seems a lot older because of the damage he did to himself. But yeah, he's up there. Who else? Guns N' Roses. No, AC/DC is going on tour. And then, what's his name? The lead singer from Guns N' Roses, Axl, whatever.
Yeah, Rose.
Yeah, Axl Rose.
He's doing solo stuff? Is that?
No, he's being the lead singer for AC/DC. He's going on tour.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
I think that actually happened before.
Right? Okay, so...
I'm pretty sure, yeah. I didn't like that fit. I'm going to be honest.
No.
I didn't like that fit.
Isn't that... That's weird, right?
I like AC/DC. I'm not a huge Guns N' Roses fan, but, like, there's definitely some songs I get into, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Oh, and then, like, what's his name from System of a Down, the lead singer?
Serge. Don't know how to say his last name.
Me neither. But you know who I'm talking about, right? I really love him. I'm just trying to think of, like, some female...
Have you ever heard Jada Pinkett Smith? Have you ever heard her band? Have you ever heard her sing? She does fucking, like, heavy metal, man.
Really?
Yeah, yo.
I didn't know she was a singer at all.
Oh, yeah. She's crazy. And she's, like, married to Will Smith.
Yeah, well,
who's, like, my dude. And I'm just like...
Not anymore.
Wait, they're not?
Oh, you missed out on this information?
Well, I thought they were still together.
No.
I thought they were, like, all, like, open relationship deal.
No,
No way!
they separated.
You're breaking my heart.
Sorry, this happened, like, a year ago. I don't know where you've
Yeah, I
been.
remember, like, Red Table, blah, blah, blah. He was
No.
crying. I remember.
But I'm pretty sure they separated.
Ah, God, no.
But I mean, like, if...
They were perfect. If they can't last. Nobody's gonna last.
But
Nobody lasts if Will Smith and Jada fucking... Is she still Pinkett Smith? Or is she just...
I have no idea.
She lose it? Oh my God, you're hurting me.
I have no idea, but, like, that just goes to show you that you never know what goes on behind closed doors.
But yeah. Wicked Wisdom is her first band. I think they did 2 albums. And then she has some I feel like Wicked is in the name of her second band. Maybe it's like a twist on Wicked or... I don't know, but she's in another metal band as well. I don't really know them too well. Wicked Wisdom, though. Check them out. Yeah. Very, like... Well, she's a fucking actor, but very theatrical. Like, I feel like there's even a performance of them on, like, David Letterman or one of those night shows.
Yeah.
And you can just see, like, the person who, like... I feel like... Obviously, they had to do a warm-up.
Yeah.
But still, it's like just realizing that, like, oh, this isn't... I didn't think she'd be doing this.
Yeah.
Like, he's just kind of sitting there awkwardly.
Mm-hmm.
But check it out. So good.
Ice-T was in a metal band, too.
Oh, yeah. No, he is. Body Count.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, they're pretty decent, too. Yeah. I always love, too, we're just talking about metal and stuff, when you see those videos of people who don't look like they... like. Particularly old people.
Yeah.
You know?
That's true.
There's like an older lady who does like a metal scream. I don't know if she's done certain songs or what I know her from, but I can picture her in like a cardigan, you know, like an old lady cardigan, and she's just like getting real deep with her growl. It's like, Jesus Christ. If you didn't see her,
yeah,
there's no way you would know she's like 80.
Yeah.
You know? And then there was that guy who did is the song just called Bodies by Drowning Pool? Do you remember that?
Yeah, it's just called
And
Bodies.
they actually got him to do that on stage with them.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I think originally it was just like some karaoke video.
Oh, okay.
And then they liked it so much that he did at least like the song 2 times with them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. There's a lady on YouTube who's like famous for training metal vocalists on how to scream properly, and she's like some sweet lady who's just a vocal coach that just teaches these big metal guys how to scream. Like,
I don't think it gets the credit that it deserves from people that, you know, are on the outside.
No, they don't understand.
Really, yeah, I mean, for sure, any kind of anything, you're gonna have range and the quality of you know, the performer or whatever, but when you're really good at that, like, it's really hard.
Yeah. Yeah.
And it's rough. That might be why fucking, what was the band you were talking about earlier? Bring Me the Horizon?
Yeah, he blues
yeah.
Rice out.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I find, like, a lot of the bands that were popular for me in high school, like when I look at them now, they obviously did not do any vocal training. They weren't, conditioning their voices. They weren't doing anything to protect their voices. And a lot of them sound like worn out and they're in their 30s.
Mm-hmm.
They're young. Like they should be able to continue to do this. And I think that was just kind of, they all got into bad contracts. They were touring constantly. They don't have vocal coaches. So that's exactly why Bring Me the, like, what's his name, Ollie? He doesn't do as intense as before because he literally cannot do it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
No, for sure. That's something that happened with Linkin Park too, as they got, I don't know, I don't want to say bigger and bigger, but as their career went on, Chester just added more training and stuff, and so people are like, oh, they sound different, he sounds whatever. It's like, well, he has that in his bag now. He still does the screaming stuff, but he also does other stuff now too.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, you gotta either give yourself the rest, or you gotta learn how to do it properly so that you don't blow your voice. Because then once that's gone, like, what are you gonna do? Your voice is gone, right? Like,
yeah.
That's your tool to make money and to do your craft. Like,
yeah, I feel like once you've been making your living off of that, maybe that's what really puts it in perspective for them.
Yeah.
Let's go animated horror movies. Is this a good one for you?
Animated horror movies.
Yes. Like you like anime and stuff too. I actually had to kind of look. So I don't know if I know 5. I do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, like I didn't realize like 1 is one that I didn't even realize was horror, but it's just, I mean, I guess it kind of is. Do you have 5? You can come up with 5?
Maybe, but not movies. Probably more series, like animated horror series.
Okay, let's just go animated horror. Let's take out the movies.
Okay.
All right.
So there's this really, it's an anime. It's called Another. And basically it's a whole lot of death, but the whole gist of the story is in this town, a death happened in the school and then there was a curse place. So in order for people to not die, every school year, this specific homeroom class has to pick a person in the class that they completely ignore in order to like appease the spirit of like whoever the fake person is, because there's a person in the classroom who is a ghost. So if they don't do that, then people start dying. And then this new kid comes into the school, he doesn't know that, and he starts talking and hanging out to the girl who everyone has picked to be the one to ignore. And then like classmates just start dying left, right, and center. And then it, like every episode is just like this random tragic death. Like she's at the top of the stairs and trips and has an umbrella, and as she's falling, the umbrella is perfectly this way and her neck lands on the, like deaths like that. And just one by one, all these kids are getting offed. And then the final thing, they're like, at this, like I think it's like a school getaway or whatever, they're all desperately trying to figure out who the dead classmate is. And it was the teacher that was the dead one, the ghost the whole time. And then once they find out who the ghost is, like they can, that's it, the curse is done with, because no one ever tried to do that before.
There was never another?
No.
Just one season?
Just one season, yeah.
Actually, it sounds pretty good. I'm not really big into anime, but it sounds good.
Yeah, there's a lot of really good horror. Like, if you look at a lot of old school anime, it's very much like sex and crazy shit happening and like horror and all that kind of stuff. And as it got more popular and more mainstream, then it's more, it's more of the romance stuff and shoujo and all of that stuff. But if you look at a lot of old school anime, like Elfen Lied is fucked. Devilman Crybaby is fucked. Like, there's a lot of...
Don't know either of those.
They're crazy animes, like... Listen, some of the animes out there are just like, what the hell? Like, there's an anime that's banned that you can barely find anywhere that is so messed up that you're not allowed to watch it. That's how crazy it is as a...
So like it came out and then they banned watching it, or
yeah, because it made so many people mentally distressed.
Huh.
Only in the anime world and manga.
It's like, how... That's like... You've seen it?
No.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I wish I have to be able to find it in order to...
Fair enough.
See
Fair
it,
enough.
right? Because it's a banned thing, so it's like if you get caught uploading it or something, like, it's a deep dive to search for it, and I think it's only in Japanese. I don't know if they've ever translated it, obviously. But yeah, there's a lot
That's
of
crazy. You
animes.
gotta imagine it's somewhere out there. Imagine you got that shit. I'd want to watch it. Like I seen, it's not anime, but I seen. Pretty sure it was Japanese because it was my ex's little brother who fucking showed it to me. So it's called Flower of Flesh and Blood. Have you seen that?
No.
This whole movie, and like it's not real, but man, like I've seen a lot of shit. And this looks really real.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, bro, are we watching a fucking snuff film right now? Because the whole thing was like, there was barely any talking. Mm-hmm. Like, the script was probably like half a page. And he kidnaps some lady with fucking, what is it, chloroform? Is that what it is?
Yeah.
Fucking brings her back to his apartment, ties her up to like a bed, and just starts like, you know, takes off her fucking arm, takes off her leg, takes off. He's just cutting. Like, and I don't mean like just shing. Like, I mean like gnawing away, and she's like all like sedated, and it's just. I'm like, dude, like what? And he loved this shit. He loved it. And there's a lot of like, they can get dark. I imagine how the anime is. I can just imagine.
Yeah, I mean, considering some of the other shit like on that you see in anime, if that was banned, then it's got to be like some next level stuff, because even like anime like Higurashi, like some of the imagery in that anime is so brutal. Like there's a scene in the anime where she's getting her nails like hit off. There's like a machine so she's being tortured and she has to put her nail in there, and then they hit it and it rips nail out of her finger. Just like so graphic, you know, like that is anime. Or like there's this one scene, I forget which anime it is, but it's like a monster and it grabs this girl and rips her in half by her legs, and they draw everything, like everything's there. Like, so graphic.
So wait, what would you say, 2 or 3?
2 or 3.
Or you
2 or 3 what?
The animated horror. Do you have 5?
No. Not names that I remember off. I have another. I have Higurashi, and then like something that's horror related is Devilman Crybaby, but I wouldn't say that's like scary, but it's like on the horror edge of things. Like Elfen Lied is definitely horror. And then yeah, those are the only ones I can remember off the top of my head.
You made me feel like a bitch. All these like my list is like, I mean, it's horror, but it's really not. You know, like now you're saying all this stuff. I'm like, oh god, I'm gonna seem like such a bitch. Finding Nemo, number 1, yo, terrifying movie. Like, why isn't that rated R, yo? No, I'm just kidding. Not Finding Nemo. But I mean, if you were Nemo, no. Okay, number 1 is Nightmare Before Christmas for me. I think it's it's this really like 3 that I came up with on my own, and then I was like, fuck, I don't even know if I know 5, so I had to Google it. But Nightmare Before Christmas is
okay, so I might have a couple more if we're like doing lower, like not so scary stuff. Then yeah.
All right. Do you want to finish?
Sure. Yeah. Have you ever? Because you said Nightmare Before Christmas. Have you ever heard of Paranorman?
I've heard of it.
Watch it. That is like.
Wasn't that one of the ones that you sent to me in the text?
Yeah. I said that it's my Paranorman. That I fucking love that.
I know of it. I haven't seen it yet.
You gotta watch it.
All right.
Yeah. And then I guess Coraline's kind of creepy too, if that's like along lines of animated.
I think so.
Movies.
That's on my list too.
Yeah, it's kind of creepy. Yeah, that's the only ones I'm gonna remember.
All right.
All the other ones I know of horror movies are like live action that are great. I love horror movies.
I like. I don't think any of mine are actually scary. It's just what they're classified as or as. Yeah, so Nightmare Before Christmas, number 1. Batman, Gotham by Gaslight, which is like this kind of steampunk take on Batman. Addams Family, number 3. Coraline, number 4. I think out of all mine, I think Coraline is the creepiest one.
Yeah.
And Hotel Transylvania. That's my number 5.
Okay.
Not scary.
Not scary, but
No.
like of the horror genre.
It's in there.
Yeah.
It's in there. IMDb.
Well, have you ever seen? They did a series on Netflix. The video game Castlevania. They did an animated series on it.
No.
Yeah.
I didn't see that.
It's pretty good. The last season was okay.
There's more than one season?
Yeah, it's weird how they did it. Like, I'm not really too sure if they kind of got the go-ahead to do it or they had the money to do it, because the first season is like 4 episodes. And then the next season's like another few episodes. And then it seems like the last season, maybe they got more of a budget and they were able to do like a full 12 episodes. But it kind of ruined the pacing of what they had before because it was shorter episodes. So it almost feels like too long, or they had to do a little bit of filler and that sort of thing. But yeah, it was okay, the last season. Not as good as like the first ones.
No, I guess not. What would you consider Metalocalypse? That's not horror, right? I just thought of that right now.
Apocalypse?
No, you don't know Metalocalypse? The show Metalocalypse? With Death Clock? The metal band Death Clock? You don't know that? Yo, Metalocalypse, man.
Okay,
That's
clearly I don't know that.
You send me the thing you were sending me. I'll send you. Oh my God, you gotta see. You're gonna love it. It's so funny.
Okay.
It's Oh, I can't believe that's totally something that I could see you liking.
Okay. Would I find it on Netflix or something, or?
I don't know. I feel like it was an Adult Swim. I could be wrong, but I feel like it was part of like Adult Swim.
Okay.
Where I think it's Cartoon Network or whatever. I just fucking legally downloaded it from a paid site.
Sure. I got you.
Was the wink on the right side? The camera didn't see the wink?
Yeah, it was on the right side.
Alright. Movie sequels. You're not a fan of movie sequels?
Not unless it was planned in the beginning.
My goodness. I feel like 3 of my top 5 are ones that had sequels planned. I'm unsure of the other 2, but my first one's The Dark Knight.
Okay.
Right? Like that trilogy was planned. It was going to be a trilogy.
Yeah.
And like I would probably say it's it's my favorite sequel, but it's also I think better than the first one. Home Alone 2, Lost in New York. Obviously big Home Alone guy. Yeah. I mean, I don't think that one was planned.
No.
Have you ever seen those like movies that made us or whatever? They have that and they kind of explain like how like they did Jurassic Park, just how it was filmed and the problems it went through. And the Home Alone 2 definitely wasn't planned. But I mean, I'm not sure. I could just be shooting this out of my ass, but it's probably the most popular Christmas movie of all time.
Yeah.
You know,
it is,
I've had kids like that are like single digits be like, I like your tattoos, you know, and it's like, I'm so happy that they know who these guys are. Yeah. Bad Boys 2, that's my third.
Okay.
Don't think that one was planned. I mean, it was like almost 20 years after the first one.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it's so good. Again, I think that one's better than the first. Spider-Man 2. I think that one was better than the first, and I'm pretty sure it was planned.
Yeah.
And then Clerks 2. You know Kevin Smith? You like Kevin Smith? Yeah. I really like Clerks 2. I got into it with some Kevin Smith nerds because actually my buddy Joe on the podcast as well. Which is like, because I don't think Clerks 1 is great. Like, it's okay. But maybe if you watched it first, you know, but I've seen some other ones. I think Jay and Silent Bob was the first one I saw of his.
I mean, yeah, those are all pretty recent. But again, like, that comes down to that was passionate people behind those projects. Like, I think a lot of the remakes and sequels that we see, it's not, there's that passion is not there. They're doing it for the money. They're doing it because they know they're gonna make money off it because it works. Like, look at the Hobbit movies. Look how many people had issues with those movies. It still made millions of dollars.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, like that was like the biggest shitstorm that happened. It still made money.
Yeah.
Like, you know, all this stuff.
Even some of the newer Star Wars. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not into Star Wars, but I have shitloads of friends, and it's like new one comes out, and I feel like at this point most of them are not happy with the product, but they're always like rushing out on day one to go see it.
Yeah, Star Wars is definitely like, why did we need that? Oh, so that Disney can make more money. That's what happened. They're
gonna bleed your Star Wars dry, and you're not gonna love it anymore.
Yeah, because I only watched the first one because, you know, my dad those were like his movies, and he wanted to go see them, and he just loves everything. But I remember watching it and being like, I could literally just go watch episodes 4, 5, 6 again, and that's what I'm watching. Mm-hmm. And the directors admitted that they just copied the structure from those movies, and they said they just wanted to recreate it. Mm-hmm. It's like, well, what's the point? You're just copying the exact same thing that we saw already. Like, what does that bring new to the table? Nothing other than introducing a young audience to the exact same thing we saw when we were younger.
But you can watch that shit that you saw. Yeah, I know.
But, you know, that's just another way for them to keep creating revenue and new forms of income, and keep people interested in this. Well, it's basically become like its own industry now, of $1 billion money-making shit, you know? Like, they can sell new toys, they can sell new lunch boxes and all this shit, and new collectibles, so...
Yeah.
More shit for people.
And in the comic book world, a lot of the time, it's like toys... It's like you haven't even seen a trailer yet, and toys are being released for a movie you've just seen a poster of, and they're showing you who the villain is and all these... Like, it tells you the toys are... Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a lot of product pushing. Do you have 5 sequels you can come up with? Or?
No.
No. What's your favorite sequel? Let's do...
Oh my god, my favorite sequel? I don't know. I'm trying to think. Because I like a lot of standalone movies, and I'm like usually pretty happy with that. Yeah, I'm not really sure. I would say like... Yeah, I don't even know.
Wow. See, I have more. I could say Ninja Turtles 2, Secret of the Ooze. Or Escape from Guantanamo Bay. Like, oh my god, there's... See, I don't know. Maybe I just watch too many movies.
Maybe I'm just having like a brain fart being like, oh no, that is a sequel that I liked. But yeah, I can't off the top of my head. Like, I'm more of... maybe because I've just been watching so many TV series as of recently.
Yeah.
Movie sequels, what the fuck? Or I watch a lot of like standalone movies.
It's harder to commit to a movie, you know.
Yeah.
My girlfriend will be like, "Oh yeah, let's watch 15 minutes of this movie." Like I swear we watched Kong Skull Island for the second time, but in like fractions of like 15, 20 minutes here and there. Took us like 5 days, and I'm like, "What? I would never choose to do that." I'd just rather watch a show or wait till we have like 2 hours to watch a movie. You know?
Yeah. It's a commitment, yeah, that's for sure.
All right. You definitely have to have 5 artists. Right? Let's do it.
Okay, so I definitely have several. Thank goodness I have my phone with some notes on it. If I can find it on here. So, thanks. A couple I have here that are like contemporary artists would be David Altmejd. I think it's Altmejd, Altmejd or something like that. Jessica Stockholder. So David, he does these sculptures, and it's usually bodies, but they're kind of morphed and stuff and melted, and they're so wicked looking. They're very surreal. And then Jessica is a painter. And then I have here the brothers Quay. They do kind of like the Grimm's Fable type stuff. They take old fables and kind of change it. They're like filmmakers.
Mm.
And then the Bullocks brothers, the same thing. It's like stop motion animation. And then I love the Canadian artist Spring Hurlbut. She won like an award at the AGO like a few years ago, and all her stuff has to do with death.
Is that a real name or a stage name?
What?
Spring Hurlbut?
Yeah, that's her.
Real name?
That's her name, yeah.
Wow, unfortunate. No, go on.
And all her stuff deals with death and kind of like the passing of people and like dealing with their memories. And her latest work, or what she's working on right now, is like taking ashes of her past loved ones, other people's loved ones who kind of donate it to her to use, and she makes like images with them and takes photographs of them, and they're like these really cool, almost like space kind of looking stuff. So everything she does with it has to deal with like loss, and that sort of thing. Michelina Thomas.
Michelina Thomas.
Michelina Thomas. And like here I can show you like, it's gonna be kind of blurry, but like stuff similar to this, very abstract.
Oh yeah.
But this is like, it's usually like craft paper, that sort of thing, or she draws on it. It's very collage based work. So I love her stuff. This is really weird. I love her stuff. I don't know how to say her name because she's a Russian artist, but she makes all these like crazy.
I'll have a go at it. Sasha Frolova.
Something like that.
All
She
right.
makes like these crazy, like, blow up balloon costumes, and like she does
That's
like
fucking wild.
right. Isn't that crazy?
Mm-hmm.
They're always like these giant blow up balloon costumes, and it's always like a performance piece where they're in the space doing dancing and that sort of thing.
Mm.
So that's pretty cool. There's somebody else on here. There's always so many. This artist is like a huge inspiration for me. Her name is Case Savaglia. She is Australian? New Zealand? Somewhere, I'm pretty sure it's Australian, but basically she had to stop oil painting because of like the effects of oil paint and all of that stuff, having kids or whatever. So her work switched from painting to embroidery. So all of this is embroidery work. And it's like hyper realistic embroidery, where she does portraits of like people in her family and people she's close to, and she always shows the back sides of the embroidery. It's really amazing to look at it, and she's been doing more work like kind of like trying to emulate how the backs look, that kind of messiness where you can almost see the person emerging through the image. So I really love her work. Like, that's insane.
It's so detailed. It's crazy.
It's insane. If you were standing probably far away from it, you'd think it's a painting.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Even there, like when you showed me the other picture of the back of it, then you can really see. Oh, okay.
It's actually embroidery, yeah. So that's, and I think she's been getting back into painting a little bit. I guess maybe she has a studio space now and she's been doing it more, but like huge inspiration for me. And I think those are my tops.
Do you have like your own space?
Not right now.
No.
That's like a goal of mine, to get that as soon as possible, but renting out spaces is not cheap. And unfortunately, Toronto loves artists, showing and, we have all these great artists, but they don't like to give artists space to work in. There's so many Toronto artists who work outside of Toronto because they cannot afford to work in Toronto anymore, but they're Toronto-based artists.
Yeah, it sucks.
Artist centers keep getting shut down and turned into corporate buildings, and so it's hard. Like,
COVID didn't help.
Nope.
I know a lot of theaters that did like live theater, comedy venues, lots of like smaller places just gone. Like places that have been around for like decades. It's been a mother, man. Was that you or was that me?
No, that's me.
Oh shoot.
Welcome to Crohn's disease.
Oh my goodness. Can we talk about that?
Yeah.
That's wild. When did you find out?
Okay, so I started having issues with my gut when I was like 19 or 20. So like right before I started working with you.
Mm.
But when I had gone to my doctor, he told me it was just IBS, even though my mom has Crohn's and it's hereditary.
Mm-hmm.
That was the first mistake. Okay, fast forward 2020, beginning of the year before we got shut down, I had like gotten really sick. They kept thinking it was my appendix. I got over it. End of the 2020, I started getting really sick. And it was really bad. I couldn't eat anything. I lost like 15 pounds in a week. I was 104 pounds. I was like a skeleton. And then I went into the hospital. They did like CT scans. They did a colonoscopy. And then that's when they found out that it was Crohn's disease. And, you know, I was in the hospital for 2 weeks then. I was on steroids and antibiotics and all that because Crohn's, like, you'll get abscesses growing on your intestine. So I had an abscess. I left the hospital. I was doing okay, and then I started getting pains again. And then I had an abscess growing out of an abscess.
Jeez.
And I ended up having to get surgery. Like, they tried to put a drain in to, like, drain all the gross shit out of it, right? To try and get it to be smaller, but it just wasn't working. And the reason it wasn't working was because it was poked into the abscess growing out of the abscess. So I had to get surgery and remove around like a foot of my
intestine. Large intestine.
Small.
Okay.
And then they removed my appendix and then like part of your colon to like reattach the intestine together. And then yeah, I recovered. That was in February where I had the surgery. So yeah, this year February I had. Beginning of February, end of January, I had that surgery. And then that was a recovery from there and kind of been recovering ever since.
How, things getting better though?
Yeah, most definitely.
The surgery was successful?
Yes, the surgery was successful. The only thing is, like, I have a scar now, but it's cool. It's like a zipper. It's not like, I'm not the
Is it at the side?
No, it's here. It's like right here.
Okay, I see, yeah.
So it's
straight up like that,
yeah.
eh?
But they did most of the work on this side, so like whenever I get pains, it's usually on my right side. But no, it was successful. Like, I'm doing better now. Like, I'm on a medication to stop it from that ever happening again. I'm getting that next week. That was the infusion I was telling you about that I have to get. It just made things a little bit harder for me, like this past year, because of like lockdown and everything, you know, like I was sick too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's been hard, and that's a lot to go through. Were we doing artists?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go through mine quick. I feel like you're not. We're different. I like do a lot of comics, so like my number one is Greg Capullo, who's like he probably did my favorite Batman series like of all time. And he does a lot of stuff with these. He's just a legend. He's my favorite. I met him, too. I actually was at, like, I don't know if it was a fan expo or Comic-Con, but I was at one of them and was there waiting in line to go and meet him and Scott Snyder, who was the writer of the series that I was talking about, my favorite Batman series. And he, like, came out and, like, so, like, I met him while I was in line to meet him. And I don't know, it's a pretty epic moment. I got a bunch of stuff signed. It's like a total, maybe my nerdiest
fanboy moment?
Fanboy moment, that's what I was looking for. I was trying to word it the right way. Number 2, Mike Shinoda. Like he does like graffiti style art. I have a couple pieces.
God, graffiti is what got me into art.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of good stuff.
Yeah.
I have like some pins of his too, but yeah, it's all really just like graffiti art, and he's like that kind of guy who will, you probably know what this is called, but like he would take like the whole wall and start in the corner and fill it in with a bunch of different stuff, just fill in the whole,
like a mural,
connect some, is that what it's called?
I mean, if it's like a full wall.
No, but it's not like, say like we would have like a face, just one giant face on this wall.
Oh, okay.
I'm talking like a small, like he'll do like a little fish in the corner, and then that'll lead to like a bomb, and then like a skull, and then like there's just like some fish floating around, and it's just I don't know what that's called, but he does a lot of.
I know what it is, but I'm not going to remember the terminology. I haven't been in school in a while. You don't use it, you forget it. You know, like.
Well, I think it's just terminology, really.
Yeah.
You know? It's all good. I like half the terms I used in fucking culinary school, these French terms, like I remember maybe like 5 of them.
Yeah.
Because of the ones that, you know, like mise en place, you know, like shit like
Yeah.
Number 3, have you ever seen Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Am I afraid of the dark?
No, have the show Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Oh.
Are you though?
No.
Okay.
Come on, I'm into all these horror movies and I'm fucking afraid of the dark.
Hey man, you know, everyone's got something.
No, just basements.
Okay, so Are You Afraid of the Dark was like this TV show on YTV when I was maybe like middle school.
YTV.
You remember that? Is this still around or what?
I don't know. I think they went under.
Who has cable? You know what I mean?
I think even before that they were
Yeah.
having funding issues, and yeah, I don't remember the last time I remember hearing about YTV. It sucks. So many good memories.
But yeah, so it was basically just like these kids. They were the only reoccurring characters.
Mm-hmm.
And they would go and they would like tell campfire stories, like around like a real fire, and that would be like
That sounds familiar.
Submitted for the tale of the Midnight Society. I call this story the tale of the cat that whatever, you know.
Yeah.
It doesn't. They would always be a different thing. The tale of whatever. And this guy Aaron Tagger was like always like the creepy guy, and like not every episode, but the majority of the episode. And he didn't. Some like there was like I think one reoccurring character, Dr. Vink, that he played, but he was just in it as different characters pretty much from the beginning to the end. And he's a painter. Not really, I don't even want to say painter, but like visual artist, as I learned earlier. Like he had an art show at his house. Basically, like he was into theater and stuff like that as well. Obviously, he did acting, but most of it was like theater, and I guess he got involved with some younger kids, and just became like a mentor to them. And then once they went to his house and realized like this guy is just like virtuoso, is that no? I feel like I don't know if I'm trying to think of what he was. Just like he was next level. All right.
Okay.
He was next level, and his whole house was covered in things that he made. Like everything, the stairs going up just had different pieces. Sometimes it was just like stapled into the wall, you know,
Okay.
and like,
yeah.
like I mean, a lot. I have a piece I'll show you after in my bedroom, of his. And so I went to like this art show and like I met him and like talked with him a bunch, like from the first time that I met him. Went to his house a couple times, and he's just. I don't know. He's one of those people that's just like, I've never met someone more passionate. You know, and I consider myself a pretty passionate person. Like, but like explaining stories of, cause I bought 2 pieces, but my ex got one. And just like explaining like, and honestly, it's not the story that sticks out in my mind. It's how he was reacting to the story. And it was something about children and these things happen to these children. That's basically the gist of it. But as he's like, he didn't just say that. It was like a 5-minute story. He's like, yeah, this piece represents, it's called this and this is why I made it. And like, he was tearing up and like, oh my God. It was just, he changed me. Like,
Yeah.
and I didn't know him that well. I just imagine he had that effect on everybody, you know? He died last year. Yeah, but he was an OG, man. Are You Afraid of the Dark is a pretty classic Canadian show. You gotta check that out. But it's kind of corny though.
I feel like a lot of Canadian shows are.
Most of them, yeah. Yeah. Jim Lee's my number 4. He's another DC illustrator. Just a legend. You know, a lot of Batman stuff. And then number 5, Salvador Dali. I feel like he's the only real, like, legit artist out of these that maybe people would consider. But, I mean, Aaron Tagger is definitely, I just don't think people know him. I consider them all, but Dali was kind of what would you call it, like surrealism?
It's surrealism.
Yeah.
Yes.
Just legendary images, you know, that will like you won't forget them.
Yep, and very influential in terms of the surrealist movement and abstract art, and art doesn't always have to be representational, and you can represent what you think is happening in your mind. So I like that. Yeah, I wasn't expecting that, to be honest with you.
Did you like in art school? Do you learn like that kind of like that history? Did you learn about him?
Yeah, my art history prof was amazing. Like, he super duper passionate about art history. He knew all kinds of little facts. He used to show us like letters that the artists would write to each other, all that kinds of shit. So I mean, obviously I'm not going to remember it offhand, but I still have all my notes, and I'm sure if I look back at it, I'd be like, oh yeah, I remember them. There's lots of art out there, right? So I remember them talking about that and this cool shit they would do, but like, yeah, that's a very important artist that you're going to learn about if you go to art school or anything like that.
All right. As I'm looking at him, like, I don't know if she's going to have top 5 superheroes.
Top 5 superheroes?
Can we do that? They can be anime. They can be. I've had people say like wrestlers. You know, you can say whatever. Really, you could say your mom. You know, if no, for real. Like it's very loose.
Superheroes.
Loose term.
Well, let's say the doctor who did my surgery. He was like amazing.
I love that.
I'm super grateful for him, and like I love the fact that even after 6 weeks of doing surgery on me, he remembered that I was an artist. And, like, he remembered who I was when he saw me, like, even with the mask on and everything. And he was so nice. I wish I could, like, do so many more things for him. But, like, I'm so grateful for him and, like, how he spoke to me and just, like, what he did for me. You know, he did such a great job. So, super grateful for him to be existing in this world. To make my life a little easier.
Yeah, definitely.
Other superheroes. No, I'm more of like a villain person.
Really, eh?
Yeah, I'm more of like an anti-hero.
You could do that.
Person. Like, I think something about like Harley Quinn I got really obsessed with when I was younger.
She would even, I mean, yeah. She's one of those, I think, that is riding the line.
Yeah.
If you called her a hero, I don't think people would correct you.
Yeah. She could be either or. But I just really, like, I really love her character. Like, she kind of almost, I kind of see myself in her a little bit, like that super animated, kind of funny person, like a little bit quirky and whatever. But also, like, she's a woman who kind of went through a lot of trauma and is still processing that and is kind of hiding behind her Joker persona, like her clown persona, to get through the abuse that she went through.
Did you see the new Suicide Squad?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I watched Birds of Prey too.
Yeah.
Much better.
Do you think Birds of Prey is better? Well, there's Suicide. The one just came out.
Oh,
I'm not talking about the first one that had Jared Leto. Is that the one you're talking about?
Yeah. There's another one that just
that
came
one's
out?
not.
Okay.
Like, even as a DC person, that movie is on my lower.
Yeah.
You know, like, if not, like, my least favorite.
Yeah,
one of my...
They failed hard on that.
But they just came out with a new one.
Oh, okay.
She's in that as well.
Okay.
I recommend that.
So that over Birds of Prey.
That is... Yeah, that over Birds of Prey, but I agree. But I think Birds of Prey was better than the Suicide Squad too.
Yeah, I still think, like, there could have been a lot more improvement on it, but I think it was way better than Suicide Squad. But yeah, she's always been, like, ever since I was younger, like, I've always just been so attracted to her. Like, I have, you know, the earrings and the shirts and all that stuff. I should have wore a Harley Quinn shirt, but they're all in the wash because I wear them all the time. I wear them so much. Let's see, another superhero. I'm so bad at this. I don't even know why. I'm so
anime
bad
characters.
Yeah. Okay. But the thing with, like, anime characters is, like, the superheroes are always so fucking corny. But you know what? Like, let's say Luffy from... They're so corny. Let's say Luffy from One Piece. He is, like, he's the best. He's just, like, this goofy character. All he cares about is adventure. All he cares about is being the best pirate ever. But he's a helpful, like they're like a different pirate crew. They're not about stealing money and that sort of thing. They're like a helpful pirate crew. They just go out and they're just on the quest to find the One Piece. Don't know if I'll ever finish watching One Piece.
There's a lot.
1,000.
1,000 episodes?
Yeah, they're in 1,000 episodes right now.
Jeez.
The creator...
Still making it, eh?
Yep. He says
Wow.
he doesn't want to finish anytime soon because he's so dedicated to his characters that he would like to keep going.
Mm.
So, but he's one of my favorite characters. Actually, I'm going to say Norman from Paranorman.
Okay.
Yeah. Definitely. I just love that movie.
Is there like any names in there that I would like? Who's Norman? Do you know who
The
does
main
him?
character.
No, but like who does his voice?
Who does his voice?
You know?
Fuck. I would have known a few months ago, years ago. Fuck. Oh.
Don't worry, it's not important.
It's one of those things where you see the person and you be like, oh, it's that guy, but you never...
You want the last one?
No, it's okay. I'm good, thank you.
Oh man, this is for sure the best thing I think I've had.
Out of the box?
Yeah, this like out of every episode, I think this is my favorite thing. These are fucking great.
They're very flavorful.
And it's a shape of a heart. Come on.
Anything with Pikachu on it is going to be good. But yeah,
There's a lot of
Norman.
stuff with Pikachu.
Norman from Paranorman, like, I see myself a lot in him too. Like, the weird kid, the kind of the outcast. But also, I love his little best friend, Neil. Fucking...
Noodle.
Neil.
Oh, I thought you said noodle.
Could you imagine?
How the fuck
His fucking kid's name's Noodle.
did I get noodle from
You gotta
Neil?
watch that movie. It's just such
I'll check it out.
It's such a sweet movie.
Wait, what did I tell you to watch? Fuck. Metalocalypse.
Yes.
Yes, I'll remember.
I'll write it down. Something to do with the metal and apocalypses. So yeah, Norman, and then who else would I consider like my favorite superhero? Fuck. I don't really know.
Don't worry, man.
Yeah, let's just stick with 4.
It's all good.
We accomplished 4, so that's good.
That's good for me. I do them every episode, but I'll do mine quick before we get into this. This is how I like to end the thing. My first is obviously Batman.
Mm-hmm.
Some of the, like, Red Hood is my second, but people would consider him maybe an anti-hero as well.
Yeah.
Arsenal, Spider-Man, and then just recently, I've kind of changed my 5th position, but Shazam is now probably number 5.
Oh, Shazam! That's a good one.
I really, he's kind of a newer, even though I'm like huge into DC, like I avoided him for a long time. And I'm not sure, well, I know why, but it's kind of lame. It's because the Flash has a lightning bolt, and he has a lightning bolt as well, and I was like, whoa, bro, what are you doing? That's the Flash's thing.
Oh my god, that is such a nerdy fanboy thing.
Yeah, and then I watched the movie, and I was like, oh my god, he was in a foster home?
Yeah.
Like, I was in a foster home.
You were like, oh, I like this character.
Shit. Yeah, no, for real. Like, I was, right away, I was like, I'm so sorry, Shazam, you know? Yeah, so these are just kind of funky cards. And if you have stories or whatever attached to them, I want to try to find one that's weird. Okay. If you don't like them, just, put it in here. You don't have to read it. I'll maybe use it on another episode. But I'm going to get a new thing because some of these are a little bad. I feel like I already know the answer, but hey, I don't know you that well. Have you ever told someone you love them just to have sex with them?
No.
Yeah, like I haven't done that. And I feel like I definitely at my lowest point was a way worse person than you ever will be. You know? Yeah, no.
I also haven't done it yet, or I've actually been in a relationship yet, so
okay.
That is also why that's no.
There we go. Well, I mean, why would anybody do that? I feel like you don't even need to do that now. Like, maybe, 30 years ago, you did that shit. But now, it's like, we're living in, Tinder and Grindr and all this shit. It's not I don't think it's like that anymore.
Well, I know somebody who would do that, but...
Oh, you do?
They're a piece of shit.
Well, there's lots of pieces of shit,
right?
so I guess
some
You
people,
got a point.
but you know what it is with those types of things is some people love that drama and they love that attention and they don't really care if it's negative as long as people are talking about them, or in some cases as long as they hurt someone and that person knows that they hurt them. Like, people are willing to do that.
Yeah, I know. It's weird.
Yeah. And they go to therapy. Please go to
Those
therapy.
people never go to therapy because they don't think anything's wrong with them.
They lack so much self-awareness.
Yeah, you take one.
Okay.
I'll just do a couple of these and get out of here. I can't believe it's been so long, but it's been fun.
Have you ever pretended to be asleep while someone was having sex in the same room?
No, but I was there was a time I pretended to be asleep because I was at like a party and a bunch of people obviously were staying where we were at. It was like a house party, and we were like laying on the couch, and then this other couple just started fighting, like not like physically. I don't want to give
Like
that
arguing?
impression. Yeah, like we obviously wouldn't have stayed laying down if they were actually physically touching each other. But I mean, just saying the most brutal stuff, and like. I feel like they had to have known. It was like me and my girl. It was probably like maybe like 15 years. It was a while ago, but and we're like just like we're literally face to face with our eyes wide open, like foreheads, and we're just like trying not to laugh and shit. Like, brutal. But no.
That is like so awkward if that ever does. I there was like the Reddit thing that someone posted where this guy he accidentally woke up when his roommate was having sex with his girlfriend, and he said, "Don't worry, he sleeps like a rock." And then the next morning the girl went up and she was like, "Oh, hi, how are you? You didn't hear anything last night, did you? Haha." And he said, "No, I sleep like a rock." Which is exactly what the guy said to the girl while they were doing it. So she turned around and flipped out at him because obviously he knew, like, that happened. Like, you're not going to know the exact sentence your friend said to her. You fucked that one up.
So she got mad at him?
No, she got mad at the boyfriend.
Yeah, like how though? What's her angle? What is it like? Oh, you didn't stop us? You heard us and you didn't stop us? Like, what's her angle?
I don't
What is
know.
she mad about?
Maybe she was just embarrassed. Like, this guy heard you, like, doing the most, you know? Like, it's a little embarrassing.
I definitely wouldn't have just stayed laying down. I don't want to do that one. Come on. Come on. Oh my god. Like, I don't like any of these. Fucking lame. This is why I have to get a new one.
New deck?
Yeah.
Is it like an old deck? Can you get expansion packs and stuff?
I don't know. I just, there's other things that are similar that I think I'm just gonna try out and see. I'm not liking any of these. Okay, hold on. This is it. I'm not even gonna look. This is gonna be it for sure. I can't.
You just gotta pick one at this point.
Alright, here we go. Alright, this one is fucking good. Okay. I hope it's good. Have you ever taken magic mushrooms?
No.
Oh my god. Have you ever tried, like, what? Do we, should we not talk about this?
It's fine.
Okay, what have you tried?
Weed.
Weed? Drinking alcohol? Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, and to be real, those are the two best ones. I would say eventually alcohol will, like, kind of
I'm already
not be worth it.
I already can't with alcohol. So.
Yeah, like, for me, it was like, I enjoyed being drunk, but I fucking don't like I don't like the taste of it. I don't like drinking. I wish I could just be like, ooh, here's a little alcohol pill and I'm drunk. You know?
I can't drink anyways because of the Crohn's. Like, I've tried.
Oh, fair.
And no.
Well, don't try. That's gotta be bad, right?
Well, no, like...
Are you allowed?
Yeah. I mean, it's your own risk if you're gonna fuck up your body, but I tried, like... Because I always liked beer and, like, wine. Like, I've never really gotten drunk, because most I've gotten is, like, a little bit buzzed. But, yeah, definitely can't do beers or any, like, super heavy yeasty type stuff. Mm-hmm. But wine seems to be okay if it's, like, a glass. And that's it. So if I do it, it's, like, a glass and that's it.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because I was drunk, but I feel like I might have seen you tipsy at one of the Christmas parties for Moxie's one year.
Nope. You
No?
were definitely. I didn't drink.
Oh, I was definitely drunk. You weren't even drinking?
No. No.
Oh, so I was totally drunk. Yeah.
I think the most I had was one shot with like Ruhi because she's like, let's do shots together. And I was like, okay.
Oh, she's sweet, man. She watches my podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, I always got pretty drunk at those. It was just I don't really drink a lot, and that was always like, well, we're gonna do it. We're gonna do it, you know. But I had problems and stuff like that. I've taken mushrooms more than enough times to count. I don't really know what to talk. I haven't done anything in like almost 10 years. Just like weed and alcohol, and I get drunk probably like 3 or 4 times a year.
Yeah.
You know. All right, do one more and we'll get out of here.
Let's see.
Come on, be good.
Oh, I feel like this is kind of like, it's have you ever been cut off at a bar?
New one.
Exactly.
Yes.
Have you ever thrown up in a taxi or Uber?
Ooh, yeah, I think it was a cab. But the guy was super nice. And, like, I'm pretty sure that, at least in cabs, I don't know how it is with Uber, because, I mean, since I've been using Uber, I don't really get to that point ever.
Yeah.
But yeah, I puked in the back, and I'm pretty sure the charge was like $30. I've done it a few times, so I'm pretty sure it was $30. And he just kind of, like, we were basically at my place. And so he just kind of, like, pulled up and, like, helped me out, make sure I got in my house.
Oh, that was nice.
And, like, I was drunk, but I knew what I had done. It wasn't like I was just like, later, you know?
Yeah.
I would like, oh, man, like, I'm so sorry, you know? And I was, like, pulling out my wallet. He's like, man, it's okay. Just get some sleep. It'll be better in the morning. It's,
That's
like,
good.
the sweetest guy.
That's good. No, I never did that, but, like, my friend did while we were in the car with her. It wasn't, like, a taxi or Uber. It was, like, our friend was driving. And she was like, does somebody have a bag? And that was the end of it. Just puking in the bag. At least it was made it in a bag, you know?
I've done it on buses. Like, I just, like, maybe about a month ago, discovered I had, like, a bacteria in my stomach called H. pylori, which leads to, it can cause, like, stomach cancer and ulcers and stuff. So I was, like, on 8 pills a day for 2 weeks straight. And I, in all honesty, like, I was puking fairly regularly up until that point for, like, maybe the last 2 years, like, before COVID, but yeah, and now it's good. But buses, so many buses.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not
But yeah.
me. I hate throwing up, so I'll avoid it at all.
Oh man, it's the worst. Like, there's so many bad things attached to drinking alcohol. That's why it's not really my thing. Like, weed, I just eat a lot of food and maybe go to sleep.
Yeah.
Like, I never regret anything when I wake up. You know, it's not. I hated those, like, blackout nights. Those are the worst.
And you're more cognitive when you're high, right? Like, it's not that and it doesn't fuck you up like alcohol does, you know? Like, as much as we all say, oh, a little drink in moderation is fine, but, you know, it really does fuck with your system.
It does.
It's really not a very good thing to be putting into your body.
I agree. But I don't know if you want to, but you can let these people know where to get at you. If you're going to be present on social media, it's totally up to you.
I mean, like, I've kind of taken a back seat from it because, you know, it's affecting me mentally.
Are you still doing YouTube stuff?
But I'm still doing YouTube stuff, of course. And I'm still doing my Patreon. And my YouTube channel is just my name, Haille Dockery. You can look me up. My website is just my name, Haille Dockery. And then my Patreon is just patreon.com/Haille Dockery. So, very easy to find me. I made it nice and simple. But yeah, if you guys want to, like, check out my YouTube stuff, like, I do vlogs, and I'm just finished recording, like, a tutorial on how to crochet some eco-friendly stuff. If you're interested in that. And, like, my Patreon, I always, like, post on there, like, works in progress, like speed paints or that sort of thing, or like maybe what I'm working on at the moment that I haven't quite finished. Or it's kind of like a community. Like, there's a Discord on there that I'm still figuring out how to use, but it's there for somebody to use, so I'm waiting.
Yeah, she has a lot. Used to have like a bunch of stuff for sale.
Yeah.
Like art.
Yeah, I have
like
to.
prints, or no, well, maybe not prints, but like what do you call, like canvases? Because mine is like
It's a drawing.
ah.
It's a drawing. So what you bought was a drawing. Like I still have a few more originals I need to get rid of that I have to post on my website because I was just selling them through the stories, but like not many people were kind of looking at it, and it's kind of annoying to post it and it only stays up for 24 hours and then you have to keep doing it. I think I saved it on my Instagram and like that little bubble thing that you can put on your page. It's like highlights. So I definitely still have a bunch of originals I need to get rid of. But also on my website I'm selling prints now because I have a printer.
All
and
right.
it's a printer paper. So if you're interested in that, I also am selling prints. So
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking when it comes to like the merch, certain things I'm going to like. I was looking into like a button maker.
yeah, that's a
And
good
like things like
investment.
that. Like there's just the button maker is probably going to be the first thing I do because every button that I've had made and gotten to see how it is, I haven't been happy with it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, my girlfriend uses them and she likes them. She thinks they're fine, but I'm like, nah,
Yeah.
like they're not exactly how I want them to be.
Yeah.
So yeah.
You can get like, take my advice and don't buy a cheap one off of Amazon. There is a Canadian button company. I'll send you the website. They sell button machines through their company that are like really good. They're a bit expensive, but they're good machines. And like you'll have it for a while, and you're not gonna get like press a button and it breaks the thing in the machine. Like I've had that happen with the one that I bought, where it was like every 10 buttons made a good button. So you really want to get like a good machine, otherwise it's not worth the money.
Yeah, definitely send me that.
Yeah.
Like always, podcast is brought to you by Neon Light District. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 10%. And by the Great North Apparel. Hit them up. Use code PillowTalk to save 30%. I don't know if tickets will be on sale yet, but definitely check the link in my bio. I have tickets on sale for the monthly show that I do every month. The next one should be October 30th, but yeah, just click the link in bio and find out. I have merch available. You can check that out. And we'll see you in 2 weeks, guys. Peace the fuck out.
Peace.